take it back. I kind of like that I grew this baby out again. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, it is finally time for me to bore you to death and tell you my 30 favorite albums of 2021. Let me give you a gentle reminder that I do not review music. I want no part in it. I do not see my stance changing anytime soon. Therefore, this is not a best of 2021. This is simply my favorite albums of 2021. We all good? We're cool? You want to give me a nice thumbs up? Alright, yeah, that's good enough for me. Let's get right into things. Now, it's time for some honorable mentions. Crime and Punishment by Regional Justice Center, Blood Bunny by Chloe Moriando, Montero by Lil Nas X, Solar Power by Lord, Disco by Mike, Shiga, The Sunlight Mound by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, Vince Staples by Vince Staples, Within One Stem by Closer, Sound Ancestors by Madlib, Comfort to Me by Amel and the Sniffers, Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine by Brockhampton, God's Hate by God's Hate, Tyron by Slow Tie, What's Your Damage by Lovelorn, For the First Time by Black Country New Road, Against All Odds by Dare, Hitler Wears Hermes 8 by West Side Gun, Crawler by Idols, Sinner Get Ready by Lingua Ignota, and One by Slant. And now we move into the actual list, starting off at number 30. It's Violent Closure by Gel. Kicking literal ass in its short 11-minute runtime, this is punch your teeth in, light the stage on fire, and fight a cop kind of hardcore, and it's freaking awesome. An all-killer, no-filler record. Next up at number 29 is The YOD Fahim, a collaboration between Your Old Droog and the God Fahim. Trippy, warped-out beats that still stay true to boom bap cover this project. Each MC delivers iconic line after iconic line, cementing themselves as royalty in the underground scene. These two have put out a ton of great projects as of late, but the YOD Fahim stands tall amongst these already great records. The 28th spot goes to Paranols to See the Next Part of the Dream. I don't really know anything about this artist other than that they are located in South Korea. Regardless, this record blew up this year because it is definitely one of the best emo releases. It's crushing and self-lamenting, but it's also somehow beautiful throughout all of the flaws that seemingly cover this entire project. Much like its creator, this record is an enigma that is much better when the facts are left in the dark and the emotions are embraced. At number 27, we have Alien Boy with Don't Know What I Am. A great mix of emo, garage, and punk, this record is enhanced by its introspective lyrics and catchy hooks. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but that's because it doesn't have to. All in all, just some really wonderful tunes. See You Space Cowboys, The Romance of Affliction is my 26th favorite album this year. It feels like taking a trip back to the mid-2000s with its classic metalcore and emo soundscape. It's brutal, sharp, and kind of weird. The song structures are simply wild, not following any conventional style or influence, despite the fact that you can hear the relics of older bands that prompted this LP. Next up, at number 25, it's Black Dresses Forever in Your Heart. Disorienting and invigorating, this is what you come to expect from a Black Dresses release. The electronic music is mixed so harshly with metal, industrial, and pop elements, giving a gruff edge to this already grimy record. The effects are over the top and just freaking sick. My 24th favorite album this year is Badbadnotgood's Talk Memory. Another wonderful installment in their discography, Talk Memory explodes with more intense sections than I can really ever remember them playing before, giving this record a lively edge. Badbadnotgood makes yet another enjoyable and heady jazz fusion record. Go figure. At number 23, we have Ekulu's Unscrew My Head. This New York City hardcore band cooks up some riveting tracks that will leave your brain rattling around in your skull. Ekulu brings to life the sounds of the New York City hardcore bands that came before them while adding a modern spice of thrash and melodic guitar riffs. This project rips through its 29-minute runtime with ease. Bo Jackson by Boldy James comes in at number 22. Riding on the critical success of The Price of Tea in China, Jackson drops yet another welcomed addition to his expansive discography. With the help of the alchemist behind the board, James continues to spin yards of dealing drugs and running from the cops. It's astute, grim, and even psychedelic at times. The 21 spot goes to Fiddlehead with Between the Richness. This supergroup blends rough and melodic guitar riffs and drum pounds to create an easily accessible hardcore album. They combine their years of experience being in previous bands to help refine their sound and image alike, varying from call and response ragers to more subdued, thoughtful anthems. J-Big Mafia slides in at number 20 with LP, specifically the offline version of LP. Peggy utilizes his unique, jumpy production once again on this project. He blends much more melodic passages than usual, however, especially in his choice of samples and his vocal performances. It's a side of Peggy that was hinted at on All My Heroes Are Cornballs, my favorite album of 2019, but is embraced much more on this project. For number 19 on this list, I picked One Step Closer's debut, This Place You Know. Finding a brilliant intersection between emo and hardcore, this record is drowning in calls for help and yelping pleas. These song compositions are as intense as the vocals and lyrics, abruptly switching the riffs and tempos at a need-to-know basis. I just can't wait to see what these guys do next. My 18th favorite album of 2021 is Haram by Armand and The Alchemist. An intense collection of tracks leaves this album feeling cold and direct. The production by The Alchemist shrouds Billy Woods and Elucid's lyrics of anti-capitalism, government propaganda, and haram. This LP warns of the consequences of indulging in forbidden activities. Not to mention it's full of clever bars and mesmerizing beats. At 17, we have Scowl with How Flowers Grow. This record is incredibly entertaining and sprawling with new hardcore concepts, even at a short 15-minute runtime. Kat Moss's vocals are absolutely killer, whether she's screaming at the top of her lungs or singing to a lovely tune. How Flowers Grow is a remarkably inventive and adventurous hardcore album. Dreamwell's Modern Grotesque comes in at the 16 spot. A gnarly collection of scrams and post-hardcore, the emotions poured out on this record are so real. The instrumentals are inspired and energized by varying tempo changes and intricate guitar strokes. Gazy's vocals are also insane, becoming the backbone of some of the most breathtaking moments of the album. This is some great late 90s, early aughts screamo brought into the year of our Lord 2021. Number 15 brings us to La Maquina by Conway the Machine. Of course, there would at least have to be one more Griselda album on this list. La Maquina is not as cohesive as other Conway records, but what it does do is boast a track list of straight bangers. The instrumentals are all over the place, there is no real flow at all, but the songs are so good that it doesn't even matter. Just a super fun assortment of songs. Tyler, the Creator's latest Call Me If You Get Lost, takes the 14 spot. A juggernaut of a record full of eclectic features and DJ drama ad-libs, Tyler kills it once again. Much more rooted in partying and embracing the world around you, this is a slight departure from the last two records that we've heard from Tyler, but Call Me If You Get Lost is refreshing and incredibly entertaining. Tyler just keeps finding new ways to step up his game. Next, we come to Thank You For Being Here by curesetheknife at number 13. Fuzzed out, loud as hell, and heavy as shit, this record is shoegaze and noise to its core. The songwriting doesn't set the world on fire, but it doesn't really have to when the songs come out this good. Thank You For Being Here is just good old-fashioned shoegaze listening. Coming in at number 12 is Pray For Haiti by Maquina. This Griselda rapper puts on a clinic on this project, showing off his lyrical prowess and prolific flows. He glides across each beat with a nonchalant swag, painting gorgeous pieces with only his mouth and his brain. This is as heady as it can possibly be, while still not boring you with droning, preachy verses. Once again, Maquina puts his best foot forward with each new release. Next up is Smiling With No Teeth by Genesis Owusu. Honing in on elements of funk, soul, hip-hop, and R&B, this album almost finds a no-wave ground between all of these genres. It is signaturely itself, pulling sounds and morphing them into something completely unique. The grooves throughout Smiling require the listener to get up and dance, waking up your body with a burning fire in your soul. Not to mention Owusu's lyrics are deeply layered and the vocals are top tier. Kicking off the top 10 is Portrayal of Guilt's We Are Always Alone. Personally, I enjoyed this record much more than their other 2021 released Christfucker, but both are great in their own rights. Riveting vocal shrieks, unrelenting breakdowns, and neck-snapping tempo changes riddle this explosive record. This Austin, Texas outfit clearly knows how to dig beneath your skin and make your blood boil. This is truly fuck 2020 and fuck 2021 music. It's not for the faint of heart, but when you're full of hell, this album is for you. Ignorance by The Weather Station swoops in at number 9. A most enjoyable collection of folk pop tunes, all masterfully sung by Tamara Lindemann, Ignorance is bursting with life. The instrumentals are constantly shape-shifting as there is finally a full-fledged band behind Lindemann's vocals. A menagerie of ideas and sounds are stuffed into this record, pushing beyond the limitations of folk or indie. There's something truly experimental on Ignorance, and whatever that is, the Weather Station pulls off expertly. Daniel Knox takes the 8th spot with his record, Won't You Take Me With You. I've never really been huge into singer-songwriter, chamber pop kind of stuff, but this record could make me rethink that. A deeply touching album that stays grounded with Knox's booming baritone vocals, it could bring a tear to your eye. The dynamic storytelling and songwriting scratches each passionate itch. Won't You Take Me With You is full of character and wit, making each listen as enjoyable as the last. At number 7, it is An Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic. This should need very little introduction or explanation. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak simply destroy this record. It's the pop collab that I never realized I needed until it was gifted upon us. Every song is bursting with swagger, energy, and soul. Each single was better than the last leading up to the album's release, and even the album refused to disappoint as well. A near-perfect homage to a genre that doesn't get as much modern respect as it should. Thank you, Mr. Mars and Mr. Pack, for your services. Nick Cave and Warren Ellis's Carnage is my 6th favorite release of 2021. Rooted in moody textures and lush instrumentals, this record is sprawling with angst and romance. The arrangements, mixing, and production leaves Carnage to feel more like an art film than it does an album, with Nick Cave as the tortured protagonist. Emotions are the veins that hold and connect this record together, and Cave's delivery is what makes these emotions so strong. What a powerful, almost overwhelming record. Kicking off the top 5 is I Became Birds by Home Is Where. As it is now known, 5th wave emo is anything but ordinary, and I Became Birds is a testament to that. Incorporating elements of folk punk and screamo, this album is an exhibition of uncommon combinations. The lyrics are outstandingly powerful, with the record's main theme addressing the issues of finding one's gender identity. Brandon McDonald's vocals are very unconventional, sometimes being compared to Jeff Magnum's vocals, but it's in this wobbly performance that they become so compelling. Next up is In Spite Of, which is the latest release from the Ohio-based outfit For Your Health. 2021 was the year that I fell much more in love with metalcore, mathcore, and power violence, so it only makes sense that In Spite Of was in constant rotation. It's powerful and playful at the same time, bouncing between weighing a literal ton to feeling light and feathery. Yes, In Spite Of is loud, thrashing, and at times out of control, but there is also a tongue-in-cheek edge to this project. This is just one of those bands and albums that I need to see perform live soon. My 3rd favorite record of 2021 has to be Welfare Jazz by Viagra Boys. The Shrimp Tech fellas are back at it again with their signature blend of post-punk and dance punk. Still spattered with comedic themes, there is also an air of seriousness that is sometimes lost in Viagra Boys' albums. There is also a tinged country presence that finds its way onto some of the more notable tracks on this LP. Welfare Jazz is a double-edged sword of explosive dance punk and pensful art punk, showing the utmost composure during the serious sections and embracing insanity for the humorous ones. At number 2, I have Injury Reserves By the Time I Get to Phoenix. Following the death of Steppa J. Groggs, I was concerned about the future of the group. How would they handle his death, not only as musicians, but also as human beings? Screw the music, I just wanted the surviving members to be okay. While this record obviously expresses pain, grief, and regret, the group itself sounds okay. Not like with their music, but like emotionally they sound okay. But the music? The music is freaking insane. This LP pushes the boundaries of experimental hip-hop like never before. It will keep you on your toes for the entire runtime, and even when you think you get a handle on something, they'll throw a curveball at you. Mind-bending drum machines are the backbone for this ever-evolving project. By the Time I Get to Phoenix is rich, full of raw emotion, lush synths, and staggering percussion. I'm not even going to do some bullshit pageantry for my number 1 this year because, listen, it's Glow On by Turnstile, because what else would it be? This record is without a doubt my most listened to album of the year. Actually, that was confirmed this morning when I got my 2021 report on Last.fm. It is my most listened to album of 2021. That's probably due to the fact that it's expansive, multifaceted, and entertaining as hell. The grooves are impossibly catchy and danceable. The lyrics and hooks are memorable and screamable. Turnstile is light years ahead of the hardcore scene with Glow On. And I'm not even a huge Turnstile fan. I'm not a big fan of their other records, but Glow On is just a different beast. It easily blends otherworldly sounds with ground-pounding riffs. At times, it's so far away from hardcore, but it never really feels like it completely leaves the genre behind. This is going to be one of those albums that I just can't explain or praise enough because my writing feels inferior when put up next to this LP. Just trust me, Glow On is fucking amazing. Shit, it's my favorite album of 2021 for a reason. And well, that about does it. That's it. That's 30 whole albums of 2021 in one video. And I'm tired. You should be tired too. I'm impressed. If you made it this far, I'm damn impressed. And I would like to thank you for watching this video and hopefully for also watching the other 2 videos that I made with year-end lists for 2021. If you haven't seen them yet, they're up. Go check them out. It's my 20 favorite songs and my 10 favorite EPs. I encourage you to subscribe for other video series on this channel, like So You're Interested In, a show where I break down an artist's discography and give good jumping off points in order to get into their catalog. Or Stacks of Wax, a show where I alphabetically go through my record collection and show off what I got. And yeah, I think that about does it. I'm sure there are more things that I could promote right now, but just don't really feel like it. So, 2021, go fuck yourself. You sucked. You gave some good music, but that's about it. So, a toast to a new year of new music, and until I see you next time, happy listening.